Do you want to talk about the Game Compressor?
Yeah, so I found this thing from Tom's Hardware. They're talking about this Game Compressor tool, which I'm going to have to take home and try. So it apparently allows you to save tons of space on your games. Let's read the headline real quick. So Game Compressor can save you hundreds of gigabytes across your game library. As storage prices remain high, Utility leverages Windows' built-in LZX compression for substantial space savings. And if looking at like one of the examples that they gave was that Crimson Desert was reduced by 32 gigabytes.
Wow.
Ark Survival Evolved dropped from 169 gigabytes to 91, which is like 46% reduction in size.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. And I've got some huge games on my computer I'm going to have to try this with. Like Baldur's Gate 3, I'm pretty sure it's like 180 gigs on my drive right now.
You know what's neat about this is you can purchase the app on Steam.
Really?
Yeah, it says it's only $5.99 US or €5.99 euros on Steam.
Really?
And leverages like that, all the stuff you mentioned before. And I guess you don't even have to run a separate client or anything. It seems pretty cool.
You know what this reminds me of is when, what was it?
Or sorry, download a separate client.
Remember when lossless scaling came out and they're like $8 on Steam? It's in a marketplace everybody knows and trusts, and it's $8. Like, I am for sure buying this.
Honestly, it's a smart move to sell software on Steam, even if it's not a game.
It's also, I mean,
it is gaming adjacent, though.
You do have to give them a pretty big cut, I'm pretty sure, but you know what? Steam has a huge audience, and the nice thing about Steam is I know my license is going to be there.
Yeah, well, they've got credibility, you know?
You know what? I think that is one of the reasons why PC gamers were so willing to go all digital so soon, is because Steam was so good to us. And they're like, yeah, you'll always have your game. Like, I still have Rocket League on Steam. You can't get Rocket League on Steam anymore, but I bought it there before it was free to play.
Yeah, and then also...
And they still support
like
it.
F1 2012. Can't buy that anymore. We still have it. Play with our dads.
Dirt Rally? I don't even own that. That's just in our Steam family.
Okay.
And because of the licensing expiring on a bunch of the cars, you can't buy that game anymore. But I played the crap out of that game through Steam family, and I would buy a license if I could. But they won't let us. But the fact that I can still borrow it from a friend is why we're like, oh, it's fine. We don't need all these awesome big box games that look so beautiful on a shelf. We'll just leave them all in our Steam library.
I will say, I feel like we lost something with, you know, everything going digital. I loved going to the game section at like Future Shop here in Canada or Best Buy, and like all these different stores that would have these huge displays with, like, you know, a title. I remember when The Sims dropped and we bought The Sims. I think we were in the States and we bought it at like Circuit City or something. It was this huge display. We'd just gone to the Mall of America. Like, I just remember thinking, like, what a fun, mystical moment in time, you know? There's a lot of whimsy with games and all that stuff. Especially as a kid. Maybe because I was a kid, I romanced it quite a bit.
But you know what? Getting it as a gift and giving it as a gift. Like, I was still getting Switch games physically as gifts, right? But nobody has bought me a PC game as a gift outside of you in a very long time.
Yeah,
and
not
I think
a physical copy either.
Well, no, but that's because people can't go to a store and be like, oh, I think he'd like this game, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that physical games are always going to have. And I can see us getting to a point where either they're on flash drives again, or you're buying like a license that follows you. You know, the way that like you can lend games on Nintendo Switch, that might be coming in the future.
Well, I used to love like going to Radio Shack or like Electronics Boutique at the time, and they would have like all the Sims games or all the Sim games, like Sim Ant, Helicopter, like all that crap. You could look at the back and get an idea of what it was.
Did you hear about that guy who came on Reddit talking about how in China they have basically enshrined in law many years ago that you own the digital items that you own, and citing like a case of a guy who died and he had this like $7,000 sword or something, and the value of the sword was split between his actual wife and his in-game wife. Legally, because they each contributed in different ways.
Oh my God.
But if this was over here in North America, your account would just be, no, you're dead, so we're closing the account. Yeah, you don't get anything. But in this one, like, you get to pass it on. There is clear ownership. So, you know, that's actually a pretty cool thing that China's been doing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, making sure that you own your digital stuff.